This morning I'd like to take you on a tour of one of the dune shacks of Peaked Hill Bars out in the dunes in Provincetown, Massachusetts. This shack is Euphoria, both literally and figuratively. It was built in 1939 and then in 1942 was purchased by Hazel Hawthorne Werner, who was the owner until it was turned over to Peaked Hill Trust some years ago. We'll take a quick walk around outside first, and then we'll go inside and look at the shack. There's a lovely Adirondack chair and bench here. Perfect place to watch the ocean across the dunes. And also right next to the shack is the prettiest little privy anywhere in the dunes. We have this interesting driftwood fence that was built a few years ago to keep the people who are out in the dunes on Art's dune tours across the valley from being able to see into the shack. It's very artistic. We'll walk up to the top of the ridge here. And this is our backyard. We have the marshes at the bottom. You can see the Provincetown Pilgrim Monument in the distance. And just dunes and ocean. We have a number of birdhouses here. These are being populated by the tree swallows right now, and they've been my constant companions. And now we'll walk down and look in the shack. Outside here, we have a solar shower, a wonderful thing after out walking in the dunes, coming back sweaty and sandy. Let's take a walk inside. So here it is. The shack is 12 feet by 16 feet, and most of it is pretty much the way it was from the time that it was built. There are windows on all four walls, and under each window is a table. Great place to follow the sun around, to sit, to read, to write. As you can see, there's lots of books here. There's a brand new wood stove, which has been very useful since it's been in the lower 40s at night here and is very cold getting out of bed in the morning. We've got a wonderful little library here with a number of books that were written by people who stayed in this dune shack and perhaps did some of the writing while they were here. We've got very comfortable bunk beds with brand new memory foam mattresses, a real luxury. And you will notice that I even have a teddy bear that my wonderful partner sent to keep me company. Here's the kitchen, stocked with everything that you could need. Every kind of plates and pots and pans. There's a 2-burner cooktop that's propane. And here we have this interesting contraption that is a natural water filter to filter the water that comes from the pump, which otherwise is very brown and filled with iron and minerals. And after going through here is crystal clear. It does about 2 gallons a day, which has been enough to keep me going. This is the best part of the shack from my point of view. The front windows look out across the dunes and out to the ocean. And this has been my creative space. It's also where I eat my meals. I pretty much live here when I'm inside the shack. And you'll notice that I've got an iPad and Bluetooth keyboard for my writing, which is a little bit more modern than the old Smith Coronas that were used by some of the residents that were here doing their writing before. There's also an apartment-sized propane fridge which is great, keeps everything nice and cold, although they say it doesn't work too well during the summer when it gets really hot sometimes, which is unfortunate. So let's take a walk outside. And we'll go down and see where we have to go to get water. It's a little bit of a walk. You can see the road that comes in ahead where you get driven out here by the driver from Peaked Hill Trust that's the caretaker for the cabin. If you look in the center of the frame up on the hillside, you can see another shack. That's Boris, about a quarter of a mile away, and that's my closest neighbors. To the west, on the other side, it's two more shacks much further down, about a mile and a half down the beach. It's very secluded out here. So here we are coming down to the well. There's the pump and the bottles of water, and you can see what they look like when they come out of the pump before they go through the filter. But it's great. It's very cold and sweet tasting. And then out here is another discovery that I made. There's this little memorial. It doesn't say who it's to. But when I looked up the dates, they match the dates for a Hazel Hawthorne from Cambridge, Massachusetts, that died in 2012. I'm not sure if she's in any way related to the Hazel Hawthorne that owned the shack, but it seems possible since her memorial service was being held in Provincetown. There'll be some research when I get home. So this is where you have to haul the water back up from the shack. It's a longer walk when you got a few bottles of water that you're carrying with you. And next we'll go up and we'll take a walk out and check out the beach. I never get tired of the view walking up this hill and seeing the shack at the top. And now we'll head down our driveway. We're on the second dune here. The first dune, the fore dune or barrier dune, is up ahead, and the shack was built back here so that it could better withstand the elements. You can see our little path ahead. Now we're going to head up to the top of the first dune here. And there it is. And there's this lovely little bench up here. It's a wonderful place to sit that sadly someone recently has covered with graffiti. I hope that it gets cleaned up. Now we'll walk down through the paths which are lined with wild roses, Rosa rugosa. There's so much of that out here. It'll only be a few more weeks when it'll all be in bloom and everything will have that wonderful scent. And here it is, the what I think of as the pathway to paradise. Looking out across the beach grass to the other shack. There's trails that go through on both sides here. You can walk on top of the dune. And here it is. It's a very steep slope going down here. The dunes got undercut by the storms last winter. But this has to be one of the most beautiful stretches of beach that I've ever been on anywhere. I was very angry the last couple of days. There was a storm 2 days ago, and it actually undercut the dunes some more, and the waves were just crashing. Today it's very calm. So this is it. I'm wrapping up the video because I need to go out and take my daily long walk on the beach and back in the dunes. I hope you enjoyed getting to see Euphoria, and hope maybe you get a chance to visit someday.